Crochet peppermint candy. Let's learn how to make this peppermint candy. So for this tutorial, we'll use red and white yarn to make it. Start off with a magic ring using the white yarn first. Then for round 1, we'll be doing alternating single crochet white and red stitches all around the round for a total of 6 stitches. So we start off here with white and then we will move on to red. It can be a bit tricky because we'll be alternating between both colors, and then we'll do red, and then after that we'll follow by switching back to white again and switching back to white again, and then after that we'll switching back to white again, and then we'll switch back to red. So we'll have this alternating red and white for a total of 6 stitches. You can see red, white, red, white, red, white here, and then after that we will try to close up the loop so that you can get a nice circle with alternating stripes here. Switch to white yarn for the start of round 2. We are working with white yarn first, single crochet 1 at the start of round 2, so place a stitch marker at the start of this round. Start off round 2 where there's an increase in white, so we've already done the first stitch in white, and then we will proceed to make the increase in the same stitch in white. Then work the rest of round 2 with increases with red and then white stitches in the same stitch for a total of 5 sets. So you can see the first red stitch is made, and then we will proceed to make it in white in the same stitch since we're doing an increase, and then we'll repeat this for another 4 more sets. We repeat another set of red stitch first, and then an increase in the same stitch using white yarn. And then we continue this around the round. So the last set here in round 2. Switch to red yarn for the start of round 3. For round 3, work with single crochet and then increase for a total of 6 sets, which are alternating in red and white. So you can see we've done the first single crochet in red, and then we will change to white and then make an increase. So 1, and then the second, okay, we put a stitch marker first in the red stitch, which was the start of the round, and then we will finish up with the increase in white. So the second white in the same stitch, and then move on to the next set for another 5 more sets. Now we are finishing off the last part of round 3, which is a single crochet 1 stitch, and then we do an increase in white. This is the last set of the 6 sets to get 18 stitches, and this is the final increase in white, and then you will have completed round 3. Switch to red yarn at the start of round 4. For round 4, single crochet 2 stitches followed by an increase for total 6 sets, but first we start off with 1 red, and then I've done the red, and then this is the white, so reposition the stitch marker in the red stitch, and then we will finish off the first set with an increase in white. This is the last part, which is the increase in white, and then we move on to the next set again. Switch to red yarn at the start of round 5. For rounds 5 to 6, single crochet 1 in red and then single crochet 3 in white for a total of 6 sets. So here we'll be working the single crochet 3, 1, yes, remember to position the stitch marker at the red stitch first, and then we will proceed to do the second single crochet in white and then the third before we repeat the entire set for another 5 times. Remember to repeat the same round for round 6, which is single crochet 1 in red and then 3 in white for a total of 6 sets. Switch to red yarn at the start of round 7. For round 7, single crochet 1 in red, then 1 in white, and then decrease once in white for a total of 6 sets. So here let's insert the stitch marker at the initial red stitch at the start of the round, and then next we'll be working the decrease in white. So using the invisible decrease method, we'll be inserting the hook into the front loops only, like so, and then proceed to single crochet decrease once, and then we switch back to red for the second set, and then we proceed with single crochet 1 in red, and then after that 1 in white, and then after that this is the 1 in white, and then subsequently a decrease again. Finish up the last set over here with a single crochet, one in red and then one in white, and then a decrease once in white again. Switch to red yarn at the start of round 8. For round 8, alternate single crochet, one and decrease for a total of 6 sets, starting with a red. We've already done the red stitch at the start, so we place the stitch marker at the start of the round, and then we've subsequently done the decrease, and then after that we will move on to the second set, which is change to red again, and then single crochet, one in red, and then we will do a decrease once in white, and then continue for another 4 sets around round 8. Finish up the last decrease for this round 8 in white. Add stuffing, and now you can see it's starting to look like a sphere. Switch to red yarn at the start of round 9. Start round 9 with a decrease once in red first, like so, and then after that a decrease once in white. Now we'll be doing the decrease once in white. Let's put the stitch marker at the start of the round first, and then we will continue with a decrease once in white. Then after the decrease once in white, we will continue with the decrease once in red again, using invisible decrease method. Then finish off round 9 with a decrease once in white again, and then this is the decrease once in white, and then a decrease once in red. Here we are doing the decrease once in red, and then after that we will end off. Okay, let's finish the decrease, and then we will end off with this is the decrease in red, and then after that finally we end off round 9 with a decrease in white once. cut off excess yarn, which is the excess red yarn after finishing. On the other hand, leave some trailing white yarn to close up. Close up in the white yarn in front loops only and then end off. Cut off the excess white yarn. And you can see that the final peppermint candy is done. You can do it in different shades of red, like what I've done with the maroon red as well as the bright red. Don't forget to check out the accompanying candy cane tutorial videos using the same colors as well. It's a separate video link below. And remember to go to pocketyarnlings.com for all the pattern tutorials.